issues with my streaming. I'm not sure what the deal is with it. I had to disconnect and then reconnect, and it's just crazy. But hopefully this time I'm connected properly. And so you guys will get the notifications to let you know that I am on. I just realized that after I was actually live just now, I went live for a few minutes, and then I looked and I realized it's not even listed. It was like private. I don't know why. So I had to go back and change my settings because I noticed that there was nothing there. So I was kind of like lost as to why the stream was not going through. So I apologize for that, guys. I'm not sure what happened, but I'm live now. So I'm a little bit behind, but I'm still going to do this video because it's kind of difficult for me to do videos nowadays. I find it real easy to do live videos because once I have the time, I can just hop in and I can record the information, give you guys what you need, and then I can hop back out. So I will give it a few, a little bit for you guys to come in. But tonight I'm going to, for those of you who are watching this on replay, tonight I'm going to talk about creating different policies for your company, for your small business, creating different things: refund policy, exchange policy, privacy policy, dispute process if your client have a dispute of some sort. Hopefully not. Also, we're going to talk about return and exchange policy. If you're one of those people that you sell products or services to different people, we're going to talk about return and exchange. So come on in, share the video. If you know someone that owns a small business or is planning on starting a small business, share this video with your family members and friends. Give it a thumbs up so we can get started. I will be talking to you guys about where you can go to find information. For example, where can you go to find different templates? Because everyone, basically when it comes to anything at all, if you don't, unless you have an attorney or someone that's going to draft these policies for you, you will need some guidance as to where can you go and find, these policies. Where can I go to find a template that I can easily just edit and post it on my website, post it in my office, post it, wherever you need to post it, just so your clients are aware of your different policies, especially those who are involved in the service industry, because a lot of times client will want refunds on things that you cannot refund. Like, for example, if you're doing a service and it's not a product, a client will want a refund on a service, and sometimes it's not. Normally, if you refund something, you have something in your hand and you're trying to return it. That's easy. You can literally just say, here, hey, Nicole, you can literally just say, take this, here, I don't like it. It broke. It's not what it was all cracked up to be, blah, blah, blah. You can say different things. But when it's something that you cannot physically hold in your hand, what do you tell them? Like, what do you say? What are you going to, how are you going to handle it? And I'm going to tell you guys give you guys 2 examples of situations. You're thinking that I'm going to change my data connection because, right, I just switched over because I'm on mobile in front of me. I'm on mobile. Let's see. All right, so I'm back on. All right, guys. So yes, the main thing is you want to protect your assets. You want to protect your business. You want to make sure you do whatever it takes. Sorry, guys, about the whole connection issues, but I have different setups going on. I'm on my mobile device because I need to use my laptop while I'm talking to you guys. So I'm kind of like, I don't want to do that. And then the webcam is just not very good as far as the quality, at least the one that I have. I'm so used to phones just being really awesome that when the webcam is not good, I don't really like it. But anyways, so let's see, let me know in the comments, guys. Let me know, can you see me? Can you hear me? Is the video, does it look okay? Is it breaking? Because I know there was some issues with connection. If it's acting funny, I can disconnect and reconnect. So let me know. Can you guys see and hear me just fine? I see my timer is still going, so I know it's still running. All clear. All right. Thank you so much, Nicole. So, policies. There is, like, for example, notary and tax service. Let me talk about those because those are the two things that I do the most of. I do notary and tax service. If a client is not satisfied with how you did their tax return, what can you do? Like, you can't, take it back. You've already done it. You can't, like, erase your notary stamp or reverse time and take the time back that you spent with that particular client in that very moment. You can't take these things back. So what do you do? What do you do if they're dissatisfied? How are we going to figure this whole thing out? Policies are what's basically going to protect you, protect your business, protect your investment, because those policies, once you have them displayed, once you have terms and conditions and the client accepts the terms and conditions, whatever is written in that terms and conditions, what's going to be your best friend. I've had different instances with, I've never really had customer dissatisfaction, but I've had instances where it was other people, contractors that weren't pleased or they weren't happy with something. I did have customer ask me, could I refund one of multiple services that I did for them? And I was just, no, I can't. But I do offer a resolution. So I'll talk to you guys about all this stuff. Let me give it a little second. And then I'm still waiting. So guys, give me one sec. So yes, policies. Number one, I'm just gonna hop right in before I sit here for too long, waiting for too long, and then I don't give you guys everything because I want to make sure I do it. I would not be a good mentor. I would not be a truly honest boss if I don't tell you that you're going to have dissatisfied people in business. Not everyone's going to be all happy and cheerful. Last week I did a video telling you guys about customer service, but what about the people that you give all of that plus more and they're just dissatisfied? What if they don't even express? The worst part is sometimes they don't even express their dissatisfaction that very moment. They go home or they tell a friend or they tell other people, and then or they go online and put horrible reviews on your page and things like that. How do you handle these things? I'm actually going to talk to you guys, maybe in an upcoming video about dealing with irate customers or disgruntled or even, just people that are just unfair when it comes to business. I'll tell you how to handle these difficult people. But tonight, if you offer any type of service, I truly recommend that you have a refund policy. Now, when I get done with this video, I'm going to put links to everything that I'm talking about in the description box. So everything that I'm talking to you about, there'll be a link for you to go and create your own. When I say create your own, the reason I say that is because my business and your business may operate the same. May not operate the same. Sorry. You might say, listen, I don't give refunds. There's no exchanges. I'm not going to correct anything. I'm not going to come back out. Like you might say that. And I might say, yeah, I will refund, or I will exchange, or I'll give you store credit, or whatever you want to put it. But me personally, everybody needs to have a refund. Number one, the money. Let's talk about the money. You need to have a refund policy. The refund policy is either no refund, refund with conditions, no refund but there's exchanges, or refund within a set period of time. So no refund, refund with conditions, refund, exchanges, refund with no refund but exchanges, or like I said, refund within a set period of time. I don't know if I gave that in the same order, but you guys get the drift. So you need to decide, how is it that you're going to determine yes or no on a refund? Me, just to make everything simple and easy, no refunds. Okay, so we don't even have to discuss when, how, what time frame. The policy is no refunds. And I'll explain to you guys why I say no refunds. The reason is because, as I mentioned, you cannot take the time back that you spend with the client. You cannot reverse what you've done for them so far. Even though they may not be satisfied with the service you provided, that service that you provided to them, the fact that you took time to do it, is taking away time from your own business and from you assisting someone else. So if I spent an hour on your tax return and you don't like the outcome, or there was something on it that was wrong, whatever the case may be, the fact of the matter is I spent an hour on your tax return. If I did notary documents for you, if I notarized, 15, 20 documents, 5 documents, whatever amount it is, I can't go back in time and, recover that time. As Maxine, the Congresswoman would say, what's her name? Maxine, what's her last name again? I forgot. Is it Waters? She'll say, reclaiming my time. You can't reclaim your time in this industry. You cannot reclaim your time. Once it's gone, it's gone, it's done. You cannot do anything about it. It's just gone. So as far as I'm concerned, being in the service industry, I do not offer refunds. Now, if you do want to offer refunds, that's absolutely up to you. And before I even go any further, let me just put the disclaimer out there. This is in no way, shape, or form legal advice. I'm just telling you guys based on my own experience, both as a customer and a professional, and what I've done and some of the things that I found that work for my own business. All right. So I just make it easy. This is a service industry, no refunds. Now, when I say no refunds, it doesn't mean that if something was wrong or if I made an error, which is okay because we're humans, we make mistakes. It doesn't mean that I won't work with you to try to fix whatever it is. It just simply means that I will not give you a refund. Another thing that I do is I make sure that no refund policy is also posted everywhere possible, included inside of my office where clients come in. You may not be able to put the no refund policy on things like Square unless you use like a invoice or the Square booking app, but you can definitely put it on your website, on your social media pages. You can put it basically anywhere else. You can get you can print it out, put it in a frame, stick it on the wall in your office. Even when you are checking out clients, if you have one of those, like Square have the little mobile reader, whatever, you can stick it on there, wherever you want to put it. You just want to make sure it's there, it's visible. Now, if someone didn't see it for some reason, they didn't look or they didn't pay attention, whatever the case may be, or say, for example, you put the no refund policy on your website and they went on your website to make an appointment and your no refund policy is inside of your terms and conditions, but you have the box there that says they must accept the terms and conditions to proceed. If your refund policy is inside of that terms and conditions, then they've accepted the terms and conditions. What we're thinking or the idea behind accepting terms and conditions is that when you click that box saying that you've read it, you should have read it. Like, you should not just click the box because you just want to move on fast. You should literally go in, read the terms and conditions, and then say, yes, you've read it. But we know how this world is. A lot of people will go and just click that box and just move on because they want to just do things super fast, right? So to protect yourself, I would say if you're in the service industry, I would highly recommend a no refund policy. And you're more than welcome to do whatever you want to. It's your own business. You're the boss, not me. So if you decide, hey, I want to give my customers a refund, that's perfectly okay. That's fine. If it works for you, it's fine with me. I have no issues with that. But me personally, no, I do not offer refunds. And like I said, because in the service industry is more based on time and not really based on product. If I have like a store or something, I may, not say, I don't think I would say no refunds, because if you have a store, your client comes in and whatever it is you advertise, the product doesn't live up to it. You don't want to jeopardize the brand, the reputation of your business by not offering the customer a refund when the products are that you sold them wasn't any good. And that happens sometimes. It does. All right. So number one, you need to decide, are you going to offer refunds or not? Yes or no? If it's a no refund, it means no refunds. No refunds. If it's refund with conditions, for example, we'll refund if this happened, or we'll refund if that happens. That's fine as well. If you're going to refund within a set amount of time, like for example, refund within a day, refund within 7 days, refund within 14, refund within 15, 20, whatever day you want to do, decide on that particular matter. The other one is refund, no refund, but exchanges. So for example, if you say, listen, I can't refund you this. In the service industry, of course, there's really no physical product to exchange, but what you would probably do is something like, listen, I do not offer a refund, but I will correct it, or I will redo it, you know, that type of thing. That's the refund. So decide which one are you going to do. Am I going to refund? Am I going to not refund, right? If you're going to refund, what are your terms on getting refund? You can't say we offer refunds. What are the terms behind it? Like when you say we offer refunds, if I call you 5 minutes from now and say, hey, I want a refund, and I don't even give you a reason, are you just going to refund me? Like you have to think about all these things, because this is what's going to help you to protect yourself and to protect your business from possible trouble, right? The other one is exchange. For those of you who are in the industry where you have products that are for sale, you know, earrings, lashes, hair, t-shirts, cakes, cookies, anything that you can actually physically hold in your hand, you know, a product, whether it's food or anything else, you have to decide, hey, am I willing to exchange that? To exchange it, you also have to think about, this is a time when we're going through a pandemic. So you have to think about the fact that whatever item has gone out in the public, it's going through God knows who, God knows where. And when your client gets a hold of it, is it something that you're going to have to take a loss for? Because if it comes back right now, majority of the times, if something is returned to you, you cannot reuse it. You cannot fix it and resell it to someone, because there's always the concern of, you know, germs and things like that going on. So if you're going to do exchanges, that's fine. If you have a policy and you want to offer exchanges, you have to post, how are you going to offer the exchanges? Is it going to be exchange with terms, or exchange within, you know, exchange? How is it, for example, exchange within 10 days, exchange within 14 days, exchange if it's not opened, exchange if it's unused, exchange if it's damaged but not during the shipment process. You have to decide how will you facilitate this exchange. Like I said, when you're thinking about the exchange policy, think about the fact that we're in the middle of a pandemic. So if the client returns it to you, what are you going to do with the product? Because you're at risk of getting yourself contaminated, or, you know, contaminating someone else if you were to reuse it or to resell it to someone else. Another thing about exchanges is the cost. Remember that if you ship an item to a client, the client usually pays for shipping unless you offer free shipping as a promotion. Who's going to pay to have it shipped back to you in order for you to exchange it? That's another thing you have to think about if you're shipping, you know, items, products, anything you can physically hold in your hand. And if you're in the food industry, just exchanges, probably not, no, because it's food. It's food. You don't want a client to return cupcakes because one tasted funny. Like, you don't want to take that back in. If you notice, you go to most restaurants, they're willing to take the food back, but immediately as you hand it to them, they trash it. If you're going to ship something to a client, do you really want that back? So these are things I would say you need to think about before you decide on a return or even an exchange policy. Like I said, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Germs is just not, you know, the thing you want to harbor right now. And again, taking a used product that has been around and been in someone's hands and all that extra stuff, it can contaminate you, contaminate your other products, contaminate, you know, anything that it pretty much comes in contact with, because you don't know what happens to it once it leaves your possession. All right. Another policy that us small business owners, entrepreneurs that are in this service industry, we come across this thing called cancellation. Someone will call you at 12 a.m., and I do mean a.m., midnight, tell you they need a notary, they need you ASAP, come now, it's 20 miles down the street. And what we do as notaries, we are happy to serve. We hop out of bed, we drive, and we get halfway there, and they say, we have to cancel. I'm so sorry, but we don't need you anymore. We're just going to cancel tonight. We're not going to go ahead and do it. And then your heart literally stops because you just drove about 15 miles and you just got out of bed and got dressed and everything. And now the customer is canceling. What do I do? Like, this makes no sense. Your mind is telling you, you know what? You should just tell them, why didn't they tell me that? You know, you have that little thing on the inside going, are you serious? Are you really serious? But it happens. And it's it comes with the territory. So to try to minimize, I'm not going to say if you have a cancellation policy, it won't happen. No, I will tell you that if you have a cancellation policy, it may happen, but the outcome will be in your favor because it will be on your own terms. Number one, I do not go out for any call after 6 p.m. unless there is a deposit. Yes, I said it, a deposit. The reason for that is because if I get out of bed, ruin my sleep, get dressed, and get on the highway and start heading to someone's house, hospital, wherever it is, and then they turn around halfway there, or even when I get there and tell me, oh, no, we're just going to cancel. No. The fact is, you just cost me time. You cost me gas because I had to travel here. I had to drive. And that's stuff that I cannot, you know what I mean? I will have to find some way to recover that. It's not that simple, that easy. So, cancellation policy. My policy is, if it's after 6 p.m. and a client calls, or even if they send a request for an appointment, I will let them know that I require prepayment. And if they cancel the appointment, I don't charge the entire fee, but I charge a cancellation fee. That is for appointments or clients that schedule for after hours. Now, during regular business hours, it kind of depends. I handle cancellations on a let's wait and see kind of situations. To be quite honest, I will be switching, my partner and I, we will be switching to automating a lot of things, which means customers won't speak to us that much unless they're having some issues. We will have them book their appointments and everything online 100%. And that way the cancellation will be there. And whether they cancel during the day or they cancel at night, the fact of the matter is we will charge a cancellation fee if we don't get notified in ample time. Now, cancellation policy, you need to think of this right here. If they cancel 2 days ahead, are you going to charge them a cancellation fee? Me? No. If they cancel, even with me, even if they cancel 2 hours before, I won't charge a cancellation fee. But if you cancel when I'm on my way, or cancel, a few minutes before I walk out the door, or I would say any cancellations prior to 2 hours prior to that appointment time, I probably won't charge them a fee. Unless it's like some ungodly hour, 3 a.m. or something like that, then I know there's a cancellation fee, because 2 hours before 3 a.m. is actually about 1 a.m. No, that's not going to work. So think about these things when you're creating these policies. And like I said, everything that I'm talking about, I'm going to put a link below so you can go in, create your own policy, create your privacy policy, terms and conditions, refund policy, cancellation policy, and also return and exchange policy. So that will be below. Once I'm done with the video, I'll put the links in the description box so you guys can click. It is very easy. You can go and just literally erase the company names and put your own company name. It's that simple. All right. So cancellation policy, for those of you who are in the service industry, you must have one. It's a must have. You should put it there, and it will, don't just think of what if they cancel, a day, 2-3 days. No, the ones that you should be concerned about are the same day cancellations. For me, if you cancel anytime, a day or two before, I'm not charging a fee. But if you cancel same day, and you cancel 5 minutes before, 2 minutes before, an hour, if it's I'm charging a fee. So that's that. Now let's talk about the privacy policy. A lot of people do not talk about privacy. Privacy policy is very rare now when I see entrepreneurs. Now I tell you guys all the time, I am not one of those people that are just going to tell you, hey, go in business, do business, make money. Yes, we're all in business, and I hope you're in business to make money. And that's why you're doing business. But there's more to actually being a real full-time entrepreneur, a boss, and doing business the right and proper way. You don't want to just be the person who's just making money and that's it. And then one day a customer is not satisfied and then they say, well, I want a refund. And you're like, really? And they're like, yes, I want a refund. How are you going to handle that customer? What if they ask you for a refund? You don't have a refund policy. Are you just going to make something up right then and there and say, hey, it's no refunds? Then the client will say, okay, where did you write that? Is that on your website? Is that in your office? Did you tell me that? Did you say that over the phone? How would I know that there's no refund policy? And then you're going to be like, yes. And another thing I want to make you guys aware of, those of you who use different payment platforms like Square, Clover, PayPal, these companies have policies, and your client can go and dispute the payment, and you will have to go through a dispute process with those payment processors. Stripe and all of them, they do have policies. Now, if you don't have a refund policy and they go to Square or Stripe or PayPal or whoever and say, hey, I'm dissatisfied, or I didn't receive the product, I didn't receive the service that they promised, they have a valid claim against you. So you have to get these policies in place to protect your business, because when you least expect it is when someone's actually going to come up with something crazy and tell you that they want a refund. Okay. The other thing as I was mentioning, is privacy. A lot of people, when you have a website, you almost positively, almost always, you need to tell your customers, if you collect data, for example, their name, their email address, their phone number, you need to put on your website privacy policies. They need to know, you're collecting my information. Are you going to share it? Are you going to sell it? How are you storing it? These are some things that are on a larger scale. Like, I know some people are probably going to be like, what? Like, no, they just ordered something from the website. Think about it. They're ordering something from your website. They're putting in their name, their phone number, their email address, their card information. So you must tell the customer, how am I storing this information? What am I doing with it? And if I'm not processing the payment myself, like if I'm using Square, if I'm using Stripe, I need to have some kind of policy on how these payments are handled. Is my credit card information stored on some kind of system somewhere in someone's garage? You need to let them know how you're storing their data. Because in the event you're accused of a leak, for example, someone says there's a charge on my card and you're the only company I used it with and blah, 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 that's a possible issue for you. So you need to make sure you tell your customers you have a privacy policy. This is what we collect. This is what we use it for. And this is how we store it. All right. If you don't store it, that's even better. But as I mentioned, guys, everything I'm talking about, I'll put a link below so you can create it. Don't go crazy thinking, well, how do I word that, Sheikah? What do I put? It's okay. I got it. I got your back. All right. I will put a link below on all the things I'm talking about. Terms and conditions, refund policy, exchange policy, privacy policy, and also cancellation policy. I'll put links below. Sorry, guys. So you can go to the template and literally just, cut and paste or whatever you need to do and create your own. But you need to have them. You must have them. Okay. What you put in it depends on what you're doing, what the line of business that you're in, but you should have one. All right. The other thing is privacy policy. As I said, privacy policy is more so about what you collect. If you have a website or social media or any type of data collection, especially personal information, and also credit card payment information, you need to have that. All right. The other one is actually that I'm going to talk about is for those of you who have information that is stored on a cloud or something like that, you also need to talk about that. What cloud, who stores the information? If you have your website that is hosted on a certain platform, if you have a hosting, like for example with Wix or GoDaddy or what's the other one, HostWings or something, you need to find you need to tell them of how their information is actually, I guess that goes under storage as well, how you're storing their data. All right. And last but not least, terms and conditions. Terms and conditions is a must-have. You have to have terms and conditions if you have a website. For those of you who don't have websites, you don't too much have to worry about terms and conditions and privacy policy unless you're collecting customer data. If you do not collect any customer data, then you probably don't have to worry about those two. But you most definitely want to come up with cancellation, refund policy if you do sales or service, all right? Or exchange if you do, products and so on, right? So terms and conditions is basically going to talk about what my website is used for, for example, if someone's 2-year-old went on a website and clicked on something and the mom thinks, oh, say you sell bathing suits, and I'm exaggerating, not 2-year-olds can't do that. Well, maybe they can, I don't know. But anyways, if someone under the age of 18 is what I'm trying to get at, goes on your site, and for example, the parents is unhappy. They don't like how the fact that your site have, a half-naked person, blah, blah, blah. And now they're wanting to sue you because their kid somehow went to your site and, all this good stuff. Terms and conditions is basically you're going to state what your site is about, what it's used for, and the limitations and who it's targeted for. So if someone goes on your site and they're 5 years old, you have nothing to do with a 5-year-old going to your site. That's basically between them and their parent. If the 5-year-old goes on the site and the parents decide, you know what, I don't like what's on this website, that's between them and the parent. The fact is, it is on your site in your terms that this is not meant for little kids. It's not meant for little kids. It is used for XYZ. It is monitored by XYZ. There's restrictions, Sometimes there's, you can talk about, do you sell? Do you accept solicitations? Some people actually go online and try to find your website so they can collect information about your company and then try to solicit you. For example, they will go to your contact us page, fill in their information, and they're actually soliciting you. Is that okay? Is that okay with you? Do you want people to go on your website and fill in your contact or act like they're booking an appointment and they're actually trying to solicit you for something or the other? If not, put it on your website. And if you put it on your website and someone solicits you, guess what? You can tell them, hey, listen, it's on you can send them a lovely letter, or if you have an attorney or if you have like Legal Shield or something, you can get them to help you with a beautiful reminder letter that you should not solicit me. It is written on my site, and it's highly disrespectful that you would go to my sales lead or to my contact us page or something like that and pretend to book an appointment when you're actually trying to sell me something. All right. So be sure, as I mentioned, these are some of the things that terms and conditions will cover. You want to make sure you take care of that. You go on your website, put that information on it. Warranties, you want to put that as well. Limited liability, you want to put that as well. There's a lot of different little things that you can do. But like I said, this is something that you guys don't really have to worry about too much. I will give you the actual templates so that you can go in and edit them yourselves. All right, story time. Let me tell you guys about 2 instances where this came into play. So one, I had someone that actually disputed a transaction, a fee that they paid to my company, and they were dissatisfied and they actually disputed it on Square. When they disputed it on Square, what they disputed on Square was that they did not receive the product or service that they paid for, which is impossible because I'm a service provider. My job is to provide service in some shape or form. And I would not be able to charge you for service if I was never there. Like, It's not, when people book appointments, they book an appointment, and if it's canceled during, within ample time, they will get a refund. If it's not canceled on time, then yes, they get charged a cancellation fee. If I'm selling, for example, if it has anything to do with our mentoring, like or tax preparation, like our classes and things like that, once you pay for it, we give you access. If you don't access it, that's not any fault of ours. So anyways, they disputed the transaction with Square, and what Square wanted to know was basically, does your company have a policy and that states that there is no refund? That's one. And do you have proof that you provided this service to the client? And luckily, I was able to provide it, because I was not expecting a dispute. I wasn't expecting that someone would actually pay for something, and then you go out, or you give them the product, or you give them the service, and then they turn around and ask for a refund without really thinking. Like, for example, if I teach you something, you can't unlearn it. It's not like I can say, I taught you how to be a notary, and now you're a notary, and you're like, well, you didn't teach me about this one thing I found out yesterday, so I want my money back. Okay, but I did teach you about 500 other things, so can you unlearn those? You can't give it back to me. There's no way for me to take that knowledge from you. So how is it that this is going to benefit me? If I missed one thing, I'm more than happy to help you with the one thing, but you cannot unlearn all the other things that that I already taught you. So if you guys understand and you agree with what I'm saying, please comment below. I want to hear you guys' take on this. If you teach someone something and they say, well, you missed something, or it wasn't like that when I went out there, so I want my money back, what would you guys do? You teach someone how to become a notary, and then they go out and they're doing notary transactions, and they come across something they've never seen before. You didn't teach it to them, and now they want a complete refund because you didn't teach that to them. And how would you handle that? Please, if you guys are watching live, comment. If you're watching it on replay, comment below. I want to hear how you guys will handle that situation. But me personally, you cannot unlearn. And this is what a lot of people have to understand with people in service industry. Service is all about your time. It's all about your time. And there's no way you can reclaim it. As like I said before, Maxine Waters, I think her name is, you cannot reclaim your time. So what do you do when you've already done all these things? Some people are just never going to be happy and never going to be satisfied, where other clients may have been a little dissatisfied. And I'm not saying that some of us are not guilty with the level of service we provide to our clients, but what I believe is that if you are providing service to a client and the client is dissatisfied, always give them a second chance to kind of change their views about your company. So I feel like if you're a notary and you made a mistake, or that's the next thing, I don't want you guys to always assume that you made the mistake, okay? But if the client accuses you of making a mistake, always offer to make good on the mistake. If I did something wrong on the form, or I notarized something wrong, I'd be more than happy to come back out and notarize it again for you. If they say, well, you messed it up the first time, how do I know you're not going to mess it up this time? Well, if you said there was a mistake and they told you the mistake was from the notary, and if you show me what that mistake is, I'm sure that I can rectify it. I'll talk to you guys about all of that in another video about how you deal with, irate clients. But aside from that, there's not much more that you can do. And like I said, we're human, we're not perfect. So there's going to be times when we're not going to be in tip-top shape. Maybe we've had 500 clients that whole week and we are just burnt out. And, some of us will stop and say, I need a break. Some people will just keep going because that's just how they are. As long as there's business, they want to work. So, when a client comes back and say, well, I did not receive it, because the truth of the matter is, if you go to Square and say, I received the product, but I want to dispute it, Square is going to be like, is it broken? Was it damaged? Oh, it's not tangible. Okay. So if it's not tangible, there is no way for us to determine what part of your education was the flawed, and then to reverse the charge for that. We can't say, okay, so the first 5 days that you were in class, that was worth about $10. Like, there's no way for them to measure that. So for them, it's more so, did you go to class or not? If you didn't like the class, there's a way to handle that, but not to say, hey, I want a refund, I didn't like the class. You sat in the class the entire time, you learned some things. Can you unlearn? Can you return the knowledge to the individual? You cannot. So with that instance, that was my case. It's okay. If someone is saying they did not receive it, I prove that they did. I provided that to them. And also, if they're saying they're dissatisfied with it, that's another story. It's not about refunding what you're dissatisfied with. It's about more so giving the person an opportunity to try to fix it. We're in the service industry. Service is not something that is tangible. It's not a thing that you can just say, hey, here, take your service back. It doesn't work like that. You won't get that time back. As a notary, you will not get that time back. As a tax professional, you will not get that time back. As a hairstylist, you will not get the time back. As a massage therapist, you won't get the time back. As a nurse, whatever type of line of work you're in, you cannot get the time back. It's not something you can return. And if you sell products and the client is returning the product to you, always think about depreciation of value in what you sold to them versus what they're returning to you. Think about it. Someone says, I hate this hair. I bought some bundles from you. The hair is total trash. I mean, it just shedded and whatever the case may be. Okay, but you've already used the product. So what value do we place on the fact that you've already used it? How do we determine that? You have to think about these things. If you offer products, think about if your client buys lashes and they put the lashes on and the lashes was, they were dissatisfied. It wasn't the style they ordered, whatever the case may be. The fact of the matter is they've already used it. That is of no use to you or anyone else. There's nothing for you to do with those lashes but to put them in the trash. Number one, it's unsanitary. And number two, they've already used it. I don't know how many times I can say they've already used it, but you can't place value on that. But what you can do if you're in that kind of industry, you can offer them a discount on something else. You can try to make good on their bad experience or, the lack of quality and whatever it is that you provided to them. These are some things I want you guys to think about. Don't take it lightly and just go say, oh yeah, I give exchanges if it's within 10 days. Are you still going to exchange it if I put on the bathing suits and I wear it to like 3 different pool parties and now I have, one of the seams coming out from the side? Are you going to take that? Because I've already worn it like several times. You have to think about all of these things. Now, when you get to the level where you just have products and services all over the world, you have bathing suits, 500 stores, whatever the case may be, you're on that level and you can replace it for less than a penny. Sure, why not? Think about all these things. Don't just create a policy because you just need to put a policy up, right? Don't just say, okay, this is my policy. If you're going to say no to everything, that's real easy. No refunds, no exchanges. Case is over. It's done. So at that point, it's just a matter of if they're dissatisfied with the product, they need to give a review and say if they're dissatisfied. If they're satisfied, then everything is good and everyone's happy. That's it. Make life easy. But if you're going to venture off into returns and exchanges, think about all these things I'm telling you. Also, you'll get those clients that are really slick. Now, let me tell you guys about these ones I noticed that they're a lot more than normal. The ones that do not say anything to you, but they will tell other people that you're not to use your product or service because they feel like it was not up to par or up to their standards. Be very mindful of these people, but do not be afraid to address whatever the issue is that they're saying that your company, is lacking. For example, someone goes on Facebook and, writes a review and the person and the situation behind it and you have made attempts to resolve it. Do not be afraid to respond, but make sure your response is professional and that you're not dodging or hiding from any questions, that you're truthful and that you speak from a professional standpoint. Do not get personal. Don't get your head all crazy, regardless of any negative comments that they may have. Just deal with it as a professional. It's going to come the more you elevate. You know, they always say new level, new devil. Every time you go up a level, you will have a new challenge. Be ready, be prepared for it. If you're in business for the long haul, it should bounce right off. It should not cause you sleepless nights. It should not make you feel like your business or service is not worth anything. These are all part of the territory. It comes with the territory. It's just, you know, it's how it works in business. Think about how many times you go to Walmart and you're standing in line. I don't know where you live, how fast the Walmart is, but here, I hate to say it like this, but sometimes that wait can be a little long. And you're in the line waiting to purchase and you're so like, oh my God, I've been waiting forever. I can't stand this. But then you turn around, you look at the service desk, you see people returning stuff. Do you get out of the line, put the stuff down and go, oh, they're returning stuff, I'm not buying anything? No. You are standing in line waiting to get checked out, regardless of the checkout, the return line that's almost down to the shoe aisle or down to the McDonald's, depending on the design of your Walmart. You're not leaving just because they're returning whatever it is they're returning for whatever reason. And they might have legitimate reasons. But what I'm trying to make you understand is not because one person is not happy with your product or service does not mean your business is going to cave and that you're going to go down and that's it, you're going to fail. Absolutely not. You keep moving. This is how these other corporations operate. They do not let their return rate stop them from operating business. Now, what they will do is look into what the customers are returning, what they're saying about what they're returning, and how much of it are they returning so they can know how to improve on their service. You should take the same mentality when it comes to your own business. Do not just say, oh my God, I had 5 returns this week, I'm shutting it down. No. Look at Walmart. I'm telling you, if you shop at Walmart, there has to be a time where you are in line waiting to get checked out and you look over to the return desk and there's people returning things. Do you put all your stuff down and go, oh, they're returning stuff, I'm not buying anything? No. You are buying whatever you're buying. You don't even know what the reason is behind why they're returning. Or sometimes you're probably in the return line looking at people buying things. They might even be buying some of the stuff that you're actually returning. Are you going to say, do you see them leaving like, oh, she's returned. Oh my gosh, she returned the same TV that I just bought. It's not going to stop you because your customer will be your customer. I was saying that to someone today. No matter what industry you're in, your business is going to attract the customers that are for your business, okay? No one's technically your competition. You know, every customer is not your customer. They all say, like, not all money is good money, okay? Not because someone's paying means that that's your client, you know? But the ones that belong to you, the one that enjoys and appreciates your service or your products, they will come and they will come back loyally all the time. They will be loyal. They will come back religiously, I should say, all the time. I had a client this morning that I've been notarizing for 2 years, and I went to notarize today, and his response to me when I was leaving, see you next year. I was like, okay. He goes, see you next year, because he has a transaction that he does on an annual basis, and 2 years now in a row, he'll call me right around the same time of the year and I will go out. The only thing he said to me this year was, whoa, you went up a little bit. I'm like, yes, my prices went up because my business is moving up and I want to make sure I'm able to maintain the same excellent service that I always come out and provide. And he said, you know, I don't have a problem with that. Trust me. I'm just saying you went up a little bit. That's it. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to pay you. Absolutely. And a matter of fact, you'll be back next year. And next year I'll be prepared. If you go up again, I'll be okay with it. So your customers, I'm telling you, will be your customers. What is meant for you, no one can take from you. You are the only one that can take it from yourself. Anything that you're destined to do, no one can take it away from you. Because as long as you understand that this is your destiny and you're the one in control, you will be just fine. Don't let other people deter you from business because of their own negative experiences or because of their own failures. Your business is your business. How you choose to do business is totally up to you. All right? Anyways, guys, any questions for me before I get off? And I'm going to put those links as soon as this video is uploaded. You guys will be able to see the links for terms and conditions, privacy policy, refund policy, exchange policy, And also refund exchanges, privacy policy. And what was that last one I told you guys about? I forgot the last one. Privacy, terms and conditions. Terms and conditions, refund policy, privacy policy, exchange policy, and cancellation policy. Those are the 5 things I think you guys should have. If you have an online business or online stores, you should have that. If you don't have online business, you can still have a privacy policy and just, have it on hand in the event someone asks, what do you do with my credit card information when I make a payment? Things like that. So you can still have it on hand. I know that for tax professionals, like for me, I have a data security policy. Data security policy is just something that the IRS recommends actually that every tax professional have. Data security, because the information that we get, and I'll probably have to address this in another video because it's different. Thank you, Melissa. You're very welcome. The IRS recommends data security because you're housing people's social security numbers, date of birth, their things like that. It's just personal information, very, very personal information, like date of birth, social security number, my full name. That's enough for someone to do some things, their income. Identity theft is not just on the tax level. It can also be on non-tax level. So for example, if you're not good with storing your client's information properly, someone comes across a W-2, they have that individual's income, they have their address, they have their name, they have their social security number. And if they come across an old tax return, they have date of birth or a copy of a driver's license. They have everything. So now you have to have a data security policy in place. So you let the customer as well as the IRS know, this is how I handle my customer's data. This is where I store it. This is who stores it for me. This is the process if anyone wants to retrieve anything from, my company, past tax return. Do you just take phone calls from random individuals, go, hey, this is Sharon, and I need a copy of my 2018 return that you did for me. And you don't even remember or recall if that's Sharon. Do you just take the phone call over the phone and you don't even recognize the voice? Do you do that? Or do you require a written request so that you can show proof that, hey, it came from this email, it came from this person, whatever the case may be. Those are some things I'm probably going to have to do a video for the tax professionals to tell you guys some of the ways that you can go about protecting your customer. The IRS also have free videos and things like that, free information online that you can use as a guide. That's probably another video because it's really long. But if you're a tax professional, you should have a data security policy, because I'm sure you're inputting the client's information on your computer or on a web-based software if you're not on network software. So you want to talk about how you're storing that information. All right. So anyways, guys, I'm going to put those links. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Give a thumbs up, share the video with anyone that's an entrepreneur. As I mentioned, you want to make sure your policies, especially your refund policy, is clearly posted either on your website, your social media page, or in your office on the wall, on the door, somewhere in there. Now, you don't want to post it everywhere. I was joking with my partner about this today. You don't want to just post it up everywhere to make it seem like, hey, no refund, no refund, no refund. Like you're painting the entire walls in your office with no refund. They're probably going to be thinking, wait a minute, am I going to want a refund that bad? Like, why are they saying no refund everywhere? We were joking about that earlier. So yeah, you don't want to just, go crazy and post it everywhere, but you want to make sure it is there in the event the client says, oh, I didn't know you don't do refunds. Well, when you made your appointment online, you clicked on terms and conditions and you said you accepted it. So in our terms and conditions, it does state there's no refunds. Simple. There's nothing else for them to say. You can always be nice and say, well, if it was a mistake of ours, and you can prove you can prove that it was a mistake. If you got a rejection from your bank or from whomever it is, and they said it's an error on your part, you can still compensate. Well, not compensate, financially, but you can say, I can correct it for you, or I can do it over for you, or I can help you to fix it if it's something you can't personally fix. You can offer your service to them or your time to them. As I mentioned, it's a lot different from your you know, people who are selling things, service industry is mainly our time. All right. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I've been on for a little bit more than I expected to, but I had so much trouble trying to get on today. I'm not sure what the deal is, but I will try to figure it out. I will be doing another video probably in the next day or two. I'm not sure. I'm going to try as best as possible to talk about some other things, irate customers. I want to also talk to you guys a lot about this notary business, because every day I get calls and questions and emails and messages about how much do I pay? Where do I start? I want to clarify some things for you guys so you don't get confused, because a lot of people are getting confused in where do I get training? Who do I go to? Do I need a bond? Do I need insurance? Do I not need insurance? I already have insurance. What does my insurance cover? Okay, fine. I get it. I will do a video. I will do a live. I will go over it. I'll tell you exactly what you need, step by step, what you should do. And just be aware that, you know, the process for becoming a notary is different. It varies state by state, but I will give you a general guidance on what you need to do. All right. All right, guys. So if you're not a part of the family, please give this video a thumbs up. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Not only subscribe, make sure you turn on your notification alerts so that you do know when I have, you know, videos and things like that. You'll get a little alert to let you know that I'm on live or that I posted something new. All right, guys. So I look forward to seeing you in the next few days. I'm not sure yet, but I will definitely post a link or post a preview of the next video that's coming. Or if you guys have an idea of something that you'd like for me to go over, please drop it in the comments below. Let me know what video or what, you know, topic you'd like for me to discuss in my next video. And I still have some things on the agenda for you guys coming up, but let me know if there's anything you need help with right away. Just drop them in the comments and I'll address it my next time that I'm in my live, that I'm doing live. I'm in my life. That was crazy. But anyways, guys, you guys have a wonderful and safe weekend. Do not forget to wear a mask. A mask can save your life as well as the life of other people. So you don't want to put that at risk at any point in time. Notaries, please be safe out there. Make sure you're washing your hands and social distancing, wearing your mask as well, especially when you go out to clients on mobile calls. All right. See you guys later. You guys stay blessed.